So I want to read from Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse number 14, and Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse number 11. I'll start at verse number 12 in chapter 1. It says, I, the preacher, have been king over Israel and Jerusalem, and I applied my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom all that is done under heaven. It is an unhappy business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. And in verse 14 he says, I have seen everything that is done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and striving after the wind. And then in chapter 2, in verse 11, he says some sort of the same thing. In verse 11, he says this. He says, Then I considered all that my hands had done and the toil I had expended in doing it, and behold, all was vanity. There's that word again, vanity, and striving after wind, and there was nothing to be gained under the sun. And I like to speak for the next 5 minutes from the subject, enjoying life because it is a gift from God. Enjoying life because it is a gift from God. You know, a lot of times in life we are looking for God in the extraordinary things in life. We're looking for God in the big things. We're looking for God to be there, to speak in the fire in our lives, in the floods in our lives, in the big earthquakes in our lives. But we miss Him oftentimes because we miss Him in the everyday moments of our lives. We miss Him in the quiet moments of our lives. And what I've learned from Ecclesiastes is this. This preacher, Eccl is his name, and he's been called preacher. And in this piece of wisdom literature, this book has given me some really great insight on how to enjoy life as a gift from God. You know, about a little bit over 2 months ago, on December 1st, we lost a really good friend of mine at my church from a sudden death. And it shook our church. And he left behind his wife and his two older daughters, college-age daughters. And I've been walking with his family. I've been walking with his wife for these past 2 months. And she's been in tears. She's been torn up. She's been asking God, why did this happen? She's so angry. And during that process and that grieving process and me counseling her, I tried to really think about, this whole thing about why does bad things happen to good people, and even thinking about the theodicy of that. But what I've come to understand, and even discovering this book, Ecclesiastes, it really speaks to the fact that we are not in control of anything. We're not in control of anything, but God is sovereign and God is in control. And so for the next 3 minutes, I want to just give you 3 points from what I gained from insight from this passage. Number 1, enjoy life as a gift. Enjoy life as a gift. Eccl, he encourages us to enjoy life in this world while we still have a chance, and to accept life as a gift from God, because God is the one who controls everything, and we cannot know what is going to happen in the future. And so while you are still living, while you are still experiencing life, Eccl encourages us, number 1, to enjoy life as a gift, because you never know what's going to happen on tomorrow. So enjoy life as a gift. Number two, the second thing that we gain from reading the book of Ecclesiastes is number 2, is that there is no safe or fail-safe formula for success. Eccl in the book of Ecclesiastes, he talks about all of these things that happen in life and in different stages of life, and he says, you know what, life is just vanity. Life is just in Hebrew habel, which means a vapor or a breath. It's like nothing. It's like emptiness. And so he says, there is no formula for success. And it's quite interesting when we look at even at the book of Proverbs, where Proverbs says, if you do this, the good things will happen. If you don't do this, bad things will happen to you. Well, Eccl has experienced life, and he's saying, look, no matter if you do good things or bad things, it doesn't matter, because there is no formula for how things are going to turn out, because we are not in control, because God is sovereign and in control. So there is no safe or fail-safe formula for success. And so it kind of leaves you wondering then, well, what's the solution then? Why are we in this world? Why do we live this way? Well, we have to find God in the ordinary things. And in doing that, it gets to my third point. And my third point is this, is to accept God's grace and have faith that situations will change. And this is the word that I spoke to the mother or the widow who lost her husband, is to accept God's grace and have faith that situations can change. Koheleth, he says there is a time and a season for everything. There's a time to live and a time to die, a time to pluck out and a time to plant. And that just lets us know, and it gives us hope that there may be some bad times in our lives that is going to happen, because there's nothing new under the sun. There's going to be some bad times, but we can also look forward to the good times as well. So and the reason why we do that is because as human beings, we cannot live without hope. We as humans, it's intrinsic in us, in our humanity, to have hope, to look forward to the future, to look forward for things to change. We can't control what the future is going to be like, but we can trust in God, and we can lean into God, and we can enjoy each day as it comes. We can find God in the small things. We can find gratitude in the small things, like how the fact that we can breathe on our own, the fact that I can move my hands, the fact that I can stand on my feet on my own. I can enjoy life. I can enjoy my family while they're still here. And so that's my encouragement to you on this afternoon. Number one, enjoy life as a gift, because that gift comes from God. Number two, that there is no fail-safe formula for success. And number three, accept God's grace and have faith that situations will eventually change.